All right, so we're going to be doing a tub clean on this unit. We're going to be removing this basket on the inside. So to do that, we do have to remove those. These are rubber insert, and you can pull them out with your finger, just like that. And down there you have Phillips screws. Don't lose these. And there, we're also going to be removing screws here, and we're going to be basically taking this top off. We do have to get the basket out. Now to do that, you're going to have some wires and stuff we have to move so we can actually lower this top. So, all right, let's get started. Okay, so we have all our screws out. And the next step is a couple ways of doing this. You can just right under there, and once you get in, go along. You can pretty much just slide this putty knife and it will just open up for you. That's what you can do. We do need that screw out and him. Now we're gonna have to loosen this ground, that screw that push this piece in, and also these ground over here has to be moved, and we're probably gonna just bring this whole top, set it down. So we do have to loosen pretty much everything on this side. Now I like to leave my ground screws, take them out and put them right back where they go. You end up losing them and you know exactly where they go. All right, that's number one. Loosen this guy. I'll show you where he goes. He has a tab, you gotta squeeze, push him in. This cable is connected to it, so you do have to kind of push it in. There it is. You're gonna need to loosen that. And put a ground screw here. Again, put it back in. Now these are both ground, so if you accidentally lose one of those screws, no, you'll be okay. You can connect the two back together. Won't hurt anything. Now your drill might not be able to get this. Use a regular Phillips, so you don't have to take as much of the machine apart. Leave this head or console just like that. All right, so what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna loosen the screws here down on the lower panel. Remove those screws. Okay, so these are your wires. You wanna make sure you have free movement, and disconnect this from the shock or suspension rod, just so you have some movement. Just so you have some freedom of movement on these wires. All right, let's see what we got up top. Hopefully I don't have to remove. We're gonna set this whole thing down, so we need enough wire. Hopefully I don't have to remove down there That's what I'm hoping. If not, we'll just drop it sideways and tie it off. I'll show you how to do that. That's your pressure tube. Go ahead and remove that so you don't have any pressure on that nipple. Very important. All right, so you will have 2 wires up under here that you need to disconnect. It's a blue and a red, or white, I should say. And they're up the section, so make sure you unplug those. Don't forget to plug them back in as well. Okay, now we're gonna set this thing down to the side. Let's see how we can do that. All right, so as you can see, we've tied off here using a string. Make sure your connections are not under stress. And now we have full access to the tub, and we didn't have to dismantle the entire machine. Now you could do this if you're doing the shocks as well, but to me, I like to slide the machine off to the side, but this is definitely, you have way more access. It's a safer way of doing it. You keep everything protected that way. All right, so now we have some screws to remove. Those are Phillips all the way around. Then we're gonna remove this piece, pop it out. Under it, it's not a 7/16, I think it's like 10 millimeters. And we're gonna pull this cover out. Then we have a nut. I think it's 1 1/16, or 13 millimeters, 33 millimeters. We'll see. All right, let's get this done. All right, the tub nut, 10 millimeters. Keep that right where it's at. All right, so we're gonna loosen this nut, then we're gonna pull the top piece off. Should have done that before, but we're going to do it in one step. So, and it comes off pretty straightforward. Tabs, once you pull the tabs on the edge, it comes right up, just like that. See it? Heavy duty impact is too big, or I can't find my attachment. So you don't want to be having. All right guys, as you can see, my heavy duty impact, the socket for that I could not find, and my hammer I thought was in my tool bag. Anyways, you have to use what you have to use to get the job done. So as you can see, I am making a hammer out of what I have. And I'm just using my regular adjustable wrench, as you can see. So it's righty-loosey, which is opposite. And just be careful you don't dent or damage your basket. And as you can see, I did spray a little bit of penetrant oil. That's going to help to loosen it, but it does require a little bit of tapping. With the hammer, it will be more precise, so you're able to take your time and better deliver the impact to the tool, so you actually get a better, and they do have a tool for this. I do have it, but things are misplaced and whatever. So you use what you have to use to get the job done. As you see shortly, it works just fine. You do have a washer under that nut, so be careful. Once you get the nut off, you'll have a washer under it. You will see that I grab it afterwards, so just pay attention, don't lose the washer. Alright, as you can see, it's loosened and it's done. Alright, now to remove the basket, you're going to tap it sideways to loosen it up and then just remove it. I'm here. I can hear you. Oh no. Nice. Nice. So now we basically doing, this is Dawn I am using. It works great, and basically spray it, let it soak for a few minutes, and we're going to be using the pressure washer to blast all of this out. Same thing here. So this is the tub or the inner drum, and you can see how it is stained. Now this washer was less than a year old, maybe 5-6 months, and customer was having major issues with the black mold. Every time she would do a white load, she would see it more evident on white, I guess. So apparently this washer was not brand new from the store. Maybe it was a return, but you can clearly see the stain and discoloration on the tub. So we're going to use the pressure washer and blast it off. Now, I think I was showing the customer at this point what it looked like, and I think they took pictures, and we're going to contact the place that they got it from to maybe get something resolved. Anyways, maybe get a discount or something. But this was the issue with the washer, and that's why I was there to get it cleaned and basically put back together. So, all right, so do not use any bleach on the aluminum piece at the bottom. Just use your pressure washer or whatever you have to use. Aluminum and bleach, they don't mix well. I'm using Dawn, and it works great. And you will see when I use another cleaner that has bleach, but I did not spray the bleach on the aluminum. All right, so we're going to be getting this thing blasted off shortly. Alright, don't forget these two plugins. Those were the two wires we talked about. You might have to double check. They could be hanging inside the tub. So you want to just stick them back through. If they're not hanging down, they should be hanging down. In my case, they were actually hanging inside the tub. So just check that. Make sure you plug them in. Secure all the connections. And there is a plastic shield. Make sure you have that and slide it over the connections so you don't have a leak or a short. Here it is right there. So just stick it back over and you're good to go. Just connect them and make sure they're secured. All right, guys, so this is pretty much, we're almost done. This is the tub to pump, and you just want to make sure that you get it nicely secured. This is going to be, make sure you get it all the way pushed up and then secure the clamp well. Those clamps actually have a stopper. Once you've reached the max, it will stop. But just make sure you get the clamp up around the, you may say the nipple on the outer drum, and make sure the clamp is in the same position as before. This is very important. In fact, it wasn't all the way up, and I think I readjusted it after this. Yeah, so I'm loosening it to adjust it. That was what I did. So, all right, guys, we're in and doing a final test. Make sure that there are no leaks, and no leaks, of course. Thanks for watching.